Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Let's welcome our Executive Vice President of Business Development, Mike Farrell.
Keep clapping. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out. Really, really appreciate it. It is so great to have a packed room like this. As you heard, the song that just came on when I was coming up, it was David Bowie. Anybody know the name of the song? Changes. We're changing things up this year. Many of you have been to symposiums over the years, and we've always had assigned seating. Not this year. Sit wherever you want. We want you to mingle. We want you to interact. We want you to get to know a lot of people. Prizes. We always did the prizes at the end of the day. And with those prizes, people were saying, I can't stay till 4 o'clock. I got to get out of here. I have a commitment. And we always had you had to be here to win. So we're changing things up this year, and we're going to give out prizes throughout the entire day, which is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a ton of fun. Before we start the fun, let's go through some of the logistics of the day. That's me, in case you didn't know. On your tables is the Wi-Fi. If you need the Wi-Fi password, here it is on the screen, but there's sheets on your table as well. When the AV guy was saying, do you want sheets on the table? I said, sure, why not? He said, because then if I put sheets on the table, then they're going to go on Wi-Fi and they're going to be on their phones all day and they're not going to be paying attention to you. I said, no, not this group. So if you need to do email, stuff like that, please feel free. There's the Wi-Fi. Here's our agenda. It's packed for today. Our marketing team did a phenomenal job putting together the agenda for today. And by the way, Diane Miller, our new marketing manager, that was the best introduction I've ever heard for me in my life. So great job. Thank you very much. We're going to talk about hotels. We're going to talk about travel policies. We're going to talk about communication. We're going to talk about those 3-letter words in the industry that everybody's talking about right now, which are what? NDC. We're going to talk about capturing data. We're going to talk about new innovations at World Travel. And we're going to end the day with one of my personal favorite athletes of all time. And if you're from Philadelphia, or not from Philadelphia, excuse us for gloating and talking about the fact that we went to the Super Bowl last year, unless there's somebody from that other team, rooting for that other team that beat us in the Super Bowl then. But we made it to the Super Bowl. Ron Jaworski, otherwise known as Jaws, will be our keynote speaker at the end of the day today. He's phenomenal. If you haven't heard him speak before, he is really, really great. He's going to do a great job. We want to thank our sponsors. Many of them are here in the room with us today. Avis Budget Group, Snowstorm, Travelport, US Bank. Thank you very much for being a sponsor. Hilton Hotels. This is a Hilton property, one of the greatest properties in Philadelphia. They did a great job last night. Everybody that was on the rooftop, great job last night. American Airlines, SAP Concur. Oh, there you go. Clap for American Airlines. LATAM, Delta, Enterprise, Qatar, British Airways, and Accor. Thank you so much for your sponsorship. I always say this. This, as you know, many of you in the travel industry and the meetings and events, this isn't an inexpensive opportunity for us to sit here and be with our clients and prospective clients. And our sponsors, the people that are in the room with us today, help us to do that. So thank you very much. It's important for us to meet at least twice a year in this capacity. Thank you to our sponsors for giving us the ability and the chance to do that. So before we start with the theme of the day, I want to practice something. We have to practice. So what I need you to do is stand up. Raise your hand if that was majorly difficult for anybody. We got one, Mark. We know Mark. Sit down. Was it harder to sit? So, with the rules have changed, one of the things we're going to be doing is a lot of audience participation. I'm going to need you to stand up throughout the day, and I'm going to need you to sit down, and we're going to do a lot of that, especially throughout the morning. So just be prepared for that. We're also going to get a lot of people up here on stage that normally it's us presenting to you. You're going to help us a little bit with this, and we're going to have a lot of open dialogue in the room. So let's get started. Talking about the rules have changed, I wanted to give you some examples along the way. How we pay, right? We used to reach into our wallets, get cash out, and now, with our partners such as US Bank giving us this capability, tap to pay. tap to pay at the gas station. We tap to pay at the retail store. With our new virtual card that we're going to talk about later, we tap to pay at the hotel registration desk. Phenomenal, phenomenal new innovation. As we go through the rest of these, though, I want you to think about why things have changed, because I really have two reasons personally why I think things have changed over the years. One, to make it more convenient for the client, right? Tap to pay is extremely convenient. You don't have to carry cash around. How many people have more than 10 bucks in their wallet right now? Not many. So, or when you're on a trip, tap to pay, you need to have that convenience. That's one reason why things change. The other is the retailer and or the person owning that commercial relationship, owning the goods, changes the rules because they need to make more money out of it. They're realizing we're not making enough money. We need to change the rules in order to make more money out of that. And I'm going to show you some examples. How we work, right? Cubicles, offices, office buildings. Now we're at home with our dogs, working remotely. How many people are back in the office? Just raise your hand. I'm not going to ask you to stand. Back in the office. It's a great number. Great number. So the rest of you, I assume, are working from home, right? Or just not working? How we ride. Taxi, hailing down a taxi, versus going on our apps, Uber, Lyft. How many of you have been in a taxi in the last 12 months? In a taxi? Good. Wow, I'm shocked. I really am. How many of you have been in an Uber or Lyft in the past 12 months? About double. But I thought the ratio was going to be a lot lower. How we tip. This is a big one for me. This is so personal, right? Usually tip the waiter or waitress and or bellman and or somebody. Now it's put in our face when we're buying a cup of coffee. We're buying a cup of coffee, they spin that iPad around and they said 18, 20, 25% or other. How many of us just want to hit other or none? Because you may have a different philosophy. My philosophy is I didn't tip for that before. Why should I be tipping for that now? But it's a part of life. It's part of what we do now. And many times we hit that 20% out of what? Panic or guilt. Right. Panic or guilt. Why did that change? Why did that change? Because the server, the service, or the retailer wants to add value to that person serving you. They want more money out of it. They changed the rules. We didn't. Consumers, we didn't change that rule. I like this one. College athlete paycheck. So when you were in college and you were an athlete back in the day, Ollie, when you were an athlete back in the day in college, did you get paid for what you did? No. About a year and a half, 2 years ago, that rule changed. It's called NIL, name, image, or likeness. If a consumer, if a brand wants to use your name, image, or likeness as a college athlete, you get paid now. Anybody know who that is? Yeah. Caitlin Clark. She was the female collegiate athlete of the year for basketball. Phenomenal. If anybody watched the women's tournament, this girl, phenomenal. She made $2 million this past year by brands using her name, image, or likeness. Made $2 million. The average WNBA professional women's basketball player makes $200,000 a year. She made $2 million a year. The rules definitely changed for college athletes over the years. She's only a junior, too. She's coming back. She's like, thank God I'm not going to the WNBA. I got another year making money from the brands, Nike and others. How we shop. Malls. Has anybody been in a mall lately? It's kind of sad. It really is. You walk through the mall and 80% of the stores are shut or shut down. We buy online now, and they deliver it to our door. And then if we want to return it, they're making it easier to do that every day as well. The pace of the game. Darla, this one's for you. Pace of the game. Major League Baseball evolved over the years. Not to say that Major League Baseball is boring, but I love it. Major League Baseball evolved over the year, and the games were taking so long, really long, over 4 hours. Major League Baseball recognized that and said, we need to change. And they introduced the pitch clock. So now, games that used to take 4 hours are now taking 2.5 hours, sometimes less than 2. There was a doubleheader, Darla, you might know this, doubleheader last week that they played both games faster than 22 games last year took to play. Both games, they played a doubleheader, full 9 innings, and it was over before 22 games last year would have been over because of the introduction of the pitch clock, changing the rules. How we buy houses. It was funny, I was talking to somebody and I said, that's how we buy houses. And she said, I'd never bought a house like that. Why? Because today, we're going on Zillow, Realtor.com. We're getting all the images and pictures before we even have to drive to the house to look at it. Completely changed. Changed the lifestyle for realtors. They're not out showing houses all the time. They're sending you a link. How we watch our shows, right? Cable. How many people still have cable in their house? Or streaming. Netflix. How many people are, most of the TV they're watching is on YouTube TV, Netflix, one of the other internet providers. Yep. And when's the last time anybody's been in a Blockbuster? Our hair care routine has changed over the years, right? Mine has, obviously. Yeah, that's about 10 years ago. No, not the picture, when I started my hair care. So the whole point of today is you're going to hear about NDC changing the rules. You're going to hear about hotels changing the rules. You're going to hear about our own travel policies have changed the rules. We're going to have fun doing it. So let's start by having a little fun. Stand up if this is your first symposium ever. Stay up, stay up. Nope. You can sit down if you've actually been in travel for more than 3 years. Sit down if you've been in travel for more than, or for 1 to 2 years. Sit down if you've been in travel for more than 6 months. Sit down if you've been in travel for more than 4 months. Sure. Yes. All right. 3 months. You were still standing, and you were still standing. Wait a minute. Stand up. Stand up. Taylor? Oh, we have one here. How long have you been in travel?
I guess 3 weeks.
3 weeks? You win. Come on up. And what's your name?
Natalie.
Natalie. This is Natalie. Can you hold that?
Sure.
Everybody say hi, Natalie. Hi. Welcome to the travel industry. You're never going to get out. Who do you work for, Natalie? Novacure. Welcome to our symposium. I'm not going to leave you up here on the stage by yourself. Stand up, and this is just for our customers because there's some world travel people that have been here for a long, long time. Stand up if you've been to more than 5 symposiums. More than 5 symposiums. If you've been to more than, or if you, let me get this right. If you've been to more than 6, stay standing. If not, sit down. More than 7, stay standing. More than 8, stay standing. More than 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Just Beth? Oh, Carla. All right, Beth and Carla, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Pick a number between 1 and 10. 9. 3. It was 5. Beth, come on up. Beth, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Beth Jordan, and I'm from SKF USA.
And about how many symposiums have you been?
I think about 20.
20.
I think so.
We've been doing these since early 2000s, and I think you've been to almost every one. Mm-hmm. So great job. Round of applause for Beth, Carla, everybody. So I want you two to introduce yourselves to each other.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Now you know an industry veteran who's going to help you with your career. You reach out to her whenever you need anything, and she's going to have the answer for you.
I will. If I don't, I'll make it up.
So we have 2 great prizes for you guys. We have from our one of our great customers, Vera Bradley, a Vera Bradley gift bag and gift set. And from Cutter Air, we also have a really beautiful travel bag. So you guys can decide who gets what. They'll be at our registration desk in the back. But thank you very much. Round of applause. That's what we want today to be about. That's what the symposiums have been about. That's what our advisory board has been about, is connecting our customers and our potential customers to open up those conversations, to talk, to have a resource, not just World Travel. We know that we're a resource for you. We want others in the room to be a resource for you. So please, if you saw somebody that was standing in the first time I did it and they have only been in the industry for less than a year, reach out to them. For those of you who have only been in the industry for a short time, look at the experience that's in the room that you could go talk to. People like Cheryl, Darla, people that have that travel experience, please reach out to them and use them as a resource as well as us along the way.